Sandra, welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is the place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual. I share my asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I go live. Like now, I post a new video. To be reviewing the Disney movie Encanto. But first of all, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome Asexual Perspectives book. And if you like Disney movies, you'll probably like this superhero book, which is Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, which is an autobiographical book. So yes, let's get on with the video. And today's film, we're talking about Encanto. Now, if you didn't really know, I'm asexual. This channel is predominantly for asexuals. And asexual is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. It means I don't get the need, urge, want for partner sexual intercourse. In my case, I don't like to see nudity or sex in movies, so I always try to find movies that don't have this in them. So Encanto is a Disney movie. It's an animated movie set in Colombia. Mirabel is the main character in this movie. If you don't like spoilers, please do not watch this video anymore, because I'm going to be telling you the storyline. So if you want to see the movie, do not watch this afterwards, right? Because there'll be loads of spoilers, because I'm going to tell you what I think about it and the movie itself, right? So basically what happens is Mirabel's grandmother years ago has to split up with her husband. I presume they're married, and because people come to torch their village, and he gets taken by these people, and you see an axe in the beginning of the movie, presuming he's going to die. But his wife, Mirabel's grandmother, has 3 triplets, and she crosses the river to take them to safety. And once she's got across the river, she has this candle that's burning, and this candle gives her a gift of Encanto. And Encanto has a lot of meanings in the film. So Encanto is like this magical place, this house that magically pops up. And so she's got somewhere to live. And the house itself, it moves, and it kind of talks by moving parts of itself. It's kind of really peculiar and strange concepts. So the house talks. And around Encanto, around this house, is absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's fantastic. The colors in this film were absolutely amazing. I really, really loved it. And so what also the house does is basically, in line with this candle, is basically the candle's supposed to be a gift, I believe, from Mirabel's grandmother's husband at the time. He gave her this candle to watch over her and look after her, and that's how come she gets this magical house and the surroundings. But with this house, every year there's usually, I think it's every year or every so often, I think it's every year. So the children, basically, there's a huge family. Mirabel's got a huge family, and there's a person that gets a gift, a magical charm gift. And I believe it's every year that someone does that. Or the film isn't she doesn't grow up that much, though, I don't think, in some parts of the film. So maybe it's supposed to just be when your time's right, the time's right. Anyway, each character gets a gift, and the door, they get this door, and when the door opens, their gift is meant to be behind it. But when Mirabel comes to opening her door, which you do see them go back in time, so you do see her as a child when she tried to do it, the door disappears. There is no charm or magic gift that she's given. And so this makes Mirabel feel very left out throughout the whole of the movie. Everyone's got a special gift other than her, apart from the ones that are waiting for their gift. And so you really see that Mirabel's very left out, and it's really difficult for her, because everyone else has got these gifts, and they have these family parties, and everyone celebrates all the different gifts, and the gifts themselves are called an Encanto. So this is where it gets a bit tricky, because Encanto can be the place with the kind of magical house that talks to itself, talks to the people in the house as well. it can be the actual whole place, the surroundings, and it can also be the gift. So they talk in the movie about Mirabelle like, you know, she's the one without an Encanto, basically. And so it's very, very interesting. They have lots of different powers. There is no sex in it. There's no nudity in it. And it's an animated film, so, you know, but it's very interesting because it tackles some really very adult storylines, in the sense there's a lot of family trauma going on, because Mirabelle's basically made to feel like an outcast and an outsider because she hasn't got a gift. But there's also a guy called Bruno, who I believe is Mirabelle's uncle. And Bruno is banished because all the foundations in the house cracking, the candle going out, and he has this vision and he gets banished. And then there's a song in the film that's called "We Don't Talk About Bruno," and this is why he's banished. And Mirabelle finds him. She goes on this quest, being a very, very strong female character, which I really love, to find him. She puts kind of herself in danger quite a bit to find him. And when she does finally find him, she finds that he's under the foundations of the house. You know, he's still never left, but he's banished because they don't want him to see the future, because Mirabelle's actually in it. And it seems that Mirabelle is the cause of the future when the house is cracking and everything's falling to bits. And so he didn't want to see her to see that. So to protect her, he left, and other people not trying not to talk about it. And so there's some, you know, kind of weird family dynamics going on there, because obviously, you know, Bruno's still part of the family, but he's been like banished because people are ashamed of his gift. Whereas the grandmother, all she usually talks about is the gifts and how gifted they are and how wonderful it is. And, you know, so Bruno's left out, and so is Mirabelle. Mirabelle's a very kind-hearted person. She's very beautiful inside. And, you know, in the very, very end, the grandmother's basically, well, near to the end, the grandmother's basically saying it's not your gifts that make you a miracle. It's the fact that you are you. You are the miracle just by being you and being alive, basically, which I thought was a very lovely message. But, you know, there is some family dynamic struggle going on, because the grandmother cannot see that she is part of the problem, that she tries to hold on to all the family and stop the foundations of the house cracking, when she's actually not allowing them to be themselves. She's so worried she'll lose them that she isn't allowing the people to be themselves. It's all about their gifts, really, and using them for their gifts, not really loving them for who they are as a person. But her expectations are put on the kids, and, you know, and it's a case of, you know, like, this is how you're meant to do things, whereas really it's up to the kids to decide how they do things, you know. So it's got a very, very interesting adult themes like that. When I say adult, it's like tackling really serious stuff like family dynamic trauma and stuff, you know. And it's very interesting when Mirabelle finally confronts the grandmother in the end, you know, and says, you know, like, you're the one that's actually causing cracks in the family and causing the foundation to come down, you know. You're the actual problem to the grandmother. And Mirabelle no longer blames herself, if you like. She blames the grandmother in the end. And I think that was a really brave move, because, you know, they could have carried on the storyline forever and a day that Mirabelle's to blame because she can't get a gift and she's different to everyone else. But instead, they actually turned it on the grandmother and exposed the problems in trying to keep the family together. She was actually driving them apart because she was trying to make them something that they're not, you know, try and make them be something they're not. And instead of loving them for who they are, she was too focused on their gifts. Whereas, like, she realized that, you know, the gift is just the person being alive, you know. And so I thought this is a beautifully told movie. It was very sad in some places. I had some tears coming down my cheeks, to be honest, because I thought it was very, very sad, some of it. And there was a little film on before. So there was like a short movie on before, and that was really sad as well. And I'm like, what's going on? I didn't come to the movies to be sad. But I did really enjoy the movie. I would highly recommend going to see it. I think it's definitely worth the money seeing. The music's really good. A lot of Spanish type of music in there. Beautiful colours. Very interesting, heartfelt storyline. Really loved it, to be honest. Apart from it made me feel a bit sad. But I really did love the movie. It was one that I really wanted to watch. I'd heard a lot of good reviews about Encanto, and I'm glad I did see it, you know. So I'd highly recommend, if you're going to the cinema, to go and see it, because I do think it's brilliant. That the colours on it are really spectacular, you know, really spectacular. I just thought overall the movie was very good. Very, very good. So I highly recommend going to watch it. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. I'll see you on the next video live stream. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Bye.